Right. Hello, everyone. So I'm very excited to have you here if you're watching the live or if you're watching the replay. My name is Einav Avni, and I'm here today with two amazing humans, and I'm so excited to introduce you to them. So with me is Anne from BalANNs and Dr. Michelle Greenwell from Greenwell Center. And today we want to talk a little bit about this new and very exciting initiative that we are setting up in the world. And this is really an integrative healing that the three of us put together. I am going to pass us on to Michelle to explain a little bit more about the goal and intention and what we're doing here today. Michelle, over to you.
Thank you. So, one of the things we want to make sure as you're listening today, we want to make sure you have the opportunity to experience a little bit about what we're capable of as a team. And so, our goal today is to bring you an experience with how powerful and effective our tools can be to support your self care programs. And our intention is to inspire your innate healing potential so you can feel the lift in stress from your body as you listen to us today. So, what I'd like to have you do now is a little exercise just so you can understand some of the tension your body might be under and you just realize it as your everyday self. But what we want to do is show you it doesn't have to be. So, I would invite you to turn your head to the side and just see what it feels like as you turn your head. Notice if it gets tight, it crunches, how far your range of motion is. Perfect. Okay, so that's what it feels like at the moment and the level of stress you have. Now we want to know, how integrated are you? How is the body functioning as a whole unit? And so as you turn this time, I want you to notice with the body, how does the body support the neck to turn? So if you turn again, and you may notice that all of a sudden the belly decided to come along for the ride, which is great. That's what we want. And you may have got an increase in range of motion, but you only got that because I suggested, how integrated are you? And so just the suggestion changed your outcome. And so if you're just dealing with yourself on a regular basis, then you would just be in that one spot. But already we've changed it a little bit, and I want to change it a little further. So if you will grab onto your ear and rub it from the top to the bottom, this little trick is so fantastic for calming, for finding the right time clock, especially if we've been on a time change and all of us are still having a little bit of challenge with that. So we're going to go with the other ear 3 times down. Just unroll the ear. And these tools come from, for me, from Touch for Health is this one. And I have lots in the toolbox that are very simple to add to your day. Okay. So now that you've done that, turn your head again and see what your range of motion is. And now it may match up to that integrated piece. Okay. Enav's smiling. So it's different. Okay. Now what I want you to do is do it as an integrated person and see how the body goes for that turn. And yes. And now you likely are seeing behind you. Now, if you think about your perspective could be here because if that's your level of function because of stress. And now you can see almost 360. That's going to change your perspective and how you approach things. So that's a little bit about some of the tools that I'll be bringing to the table, along with looking at what are the challenges and what are your priorities. I'm going to pass it to Anne, and she's going to share a little bit of her tools.
Great. Thank you, Michelle. It was an amazing experience. Well, hello, everybody. So for me, I strongly believe that it is everybody's birthright to have a happy and healthy life. And most of the time we were born and we are happy and healthy because we are one in so many million of sperm cells and eggs that were chosen to come to Earth, right? But throughout life, unfortunately, this diminishes and we've got limiting beliefs throwing over us and conditioning and structures and so on. So what we see happening is a disbalance. We have our physical body, our 3D body, but we also have our etheric body, like a field around us. Many of you may have been aware of it. Is it called the aura? And quite often we start to get these balances. And what I notice also is that within each organ, we have emotions that typically bring them out of balance. So it's the body, mind, soul connection. And where I specialize in is to integrate the three so that we rediscover really who we are and that we can get back to our self-healing process by reconnecting everything. And very often what I come across after cutting through the initial pains and aches and stuff is that basically it comes that very often down to the inability to love ourselves, to reconnect with our heart. That's where our soul lives. And to recognize that we have that innate power in us. So I use two techniques often combined. It's on the one hand, the universal healing Tao, so based on traditional Chinese medicine, 5 elements, and then also the integrated energy therapy, which is more a intuitive energy work, working in the auric field, in the 5D energy field. So a little tool that we will try together now, see, to have you really get back in that heart space and calm down, calm the nervous system, which is very important these days because we're always almost on the alert. So I would like you all to sit down with a straight back and your feet back flat on the ground. And initially we roll back our shoulders a little bit to make sure we're nice and straight. And then what I like you to do, I will show it first. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And we're going to exhale with a ha sound and we fall down. We basically fall direct into our heart space. So let's try this together. We inhale. So this brings you straight from out of your head into the heart. Let's do that again. And the ha sound is the frequency that resonates, brings a healing effect to the heart as well. So one more time with the strong ha sound. Inhale. Great. Now I'd like you to put your hands on your heart. You can close your eyes and just connect with your own heart. Bring a little smile to it and just say, hello, how are you today? And just feel. And your eyes might go wandering in your heart chambers from left to right, bottom to top, and see whether you feel any emotion that could disrupt the heart. Quite often, impatience or sadness resides in the heart. So if you come across to that, you just smile to it, acknowledge it. It's okay to be there. But in time, we can replace those negative emotions with positive emotions, which is joy, consciousness, nice way of speech, patience, love. So we can just smile into the heart. And I'm at the same time calling in all our guides, spirit guides and guardian angels to come into this healing space with you while you connect to your heart where your soul lives. And just feel how nice it is to connect to that space. You can tell your heart you're sorry you were away for so long, you haven't been in touch. But this is all going to change now. We can release by any exhale, just release all what no longer serving you. And I'm calling in Archangel Michael, using his beautiful blend aura spray with the frequency of Archangel Michael into your heart. Inhale deeply, because he will help you assist cut away all what no longer serves you. There's a lot of impatience going, self-criticism can all be released. We have now this beautiful glowing heart. And now what we're going to do, we're going to imagine from our heart a beautiful golden thread, like a fish line, and we're going to hook to everybody in the call here. Connect heart to heart. We make this beautiful heart link. We connected in the grid around the earth. The earth has the earth grid. We're all connected energetically. And this way we can set our intention for the day. May all be in balance and look forward to a happy and healthy future as from now on. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can gently open your eyes.
Very nice.
Thank you. And enough, I think also nice that you share a little of your tools in the box so we can experience the power of the Aim for Greatness project all together.
Absolutely. Thank you. So the thing that I bring with me are a combination of energy healing and alignment coaching. So with the energy healing, I use the modalities, the emotion code, the body code, and the belief codes to help release trapped emotions and misalignments from the body. And what I then do with the alignment coaching is I help people to recognize where they're operating from fears and limitations and compromises, and help them get back into the core, into harmony and alignment, trust, all of that stuff that we're so often missing from our day-to-day life. The codes that I'm using, the energy, the emotion code, the body code, and the belief code, they've been discovered or channeled or brought to the world by Discover Healing, Dr. Bradley Nelson. And he basically, what the idea behind it really is that every emotional event or trauma that we go through and we can't process the emotions then become trapped in our bodies. And because every emotion has a size and a shape, they actually press on glands and organs and cause us to feel discomfort, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual as well. And so what I do, I connect with the person's subconscious mind, and I go through, if it's the emotion code, and I go through a list of emotions and clear whatever I find. When I connect with the person, I don't go rummaging around in the subconscious mind. I really have this contract of, I'm here to talk with the subconscious mind to clear these trapped emotions and misalignments and stuff that cause the blockages. And when I release it, sometimes the person feels it straight away, sometimes it will take a while. But every emotion that we clear actually helps the body get back its innate ability to heal itself. So it's very profound. It's very rewarding as well. And also in this walk, you don't really need to talk so much about whatever is going on, because we are here in a sort of a transaction to really clear the blockages. And I'm going to demonstrate a little bit, not the emotion code so much, but the next part of the emotion code is called the heart wall. So a heart wall is the subconscious mind way of saying, you're too fragile and I can't send you roaming into the world without protection. And so what the subconscious mind does, it grabs trapped emotions from around the body, and maybe not literally, but it builds a wall around your heart. So the good news is that you now have a wall around your heart and you're more protected. So you have some space between yourself and how you feel about life. But the not so helpful part, I guess, is that you now live from behind a wall, and so you don't feel connected in the same way as you did before. Maybe you're feeling like an outsider. Maybe you feel like you're lacking in energy, or that things are happening elsewhere. All of the kind of symptoms that you might imagine, if you lived from behind the wall. So what I'll demonstrate today is really releasing a couple of emotions from the heart wall. Um, I'm just using muscle testing to ask yes/no questions from the subconscious mind. So I'll demonstrate on Anne, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
And I'll just say that the muscle testing method is basically when our subconscious mind, when it hears something that is true or nice or correct, then it behaves in a certain way. And when it hears something that is not true, a lie, something that is unpleasant, it behaves in a different way. So for example, if I say, I use the ring and ring method. So if I say my name is Einav, that's true. So it looks, and I won't be able to open it because that is the true. If I say my name is Charlie, not true. So I can't even connect it because it doesn't go that way. So this is what I do. I go through a list of emotions, and I ask Anne, her subconscious mind, what emotion is the most important one to release. And then to release it from my side, I move my hand above my governing meridian, and I set the intention to release the emotion that I found. And then later on, I will ask Anne to drink a lot of water so that she flushes it out of her system. So Anne, do I have permission to connect with your subconscious mind? Yes, thank you. So I'll take a moment, to connect, and I'll just also bring my. I have a list of emotions that we use. I'll just show that to the camera for a second. So you don't need to see the list of emotions, because when I connect with you, it is as if you are actually here looking at these emotions yourself. So it's wonderful, this kind of connection and subconscious knowing and everything. Right, so I'll take a moment to connect. Okay, so we are now connected, and I'm asking, do you have a heart wall? And the answer is yes, because most of us do have a heart wall, and that's a good thing. So I'm now going through this, and I'm asking, is it in column A or column B? It's in column B. Odd row number or even? It's on even, and it's in row number 6. So there's 5 emotions in that box. So pride, shame, shock. The emotion that we're going to release is emotion of shock. Now I'm asking, do I need to know anything else about this emotion? No. So I'll just release it straight away. So I've released the emotions. I moved my hands 3 times above my governing meridian, and now I'm checking, has this emotion been released? It has been. Great. So we'll just do one more. Again, column B, even row number, and now it's in row 4. So this next emotion, there was depression, frustration, indecisiveness. The emotion that we stopped on is panic. I don't need to know anything else, so I can just go ahead and clear that one. So here we go. Great. So this emotion is also gone. So as you see, I don't need to ask anything. I really, most of the conversation is done between me and Anne's subconscious mind. And so in normal settings, we will just go through all of the emotions, or we will ask the subconscious mind how many emotions we clear. We're not asking how many emotions we clear, but we just say, can we clear another one? Can we clear another one? And so we go through all the list. And sometimes the heart wall can be cleared in one session, but sometimes it might take more. But when someone comes to me and they say, I mostly work with people suffering from chronic pain, chronic illness, or unexplained medical conditions. So maybe someone come to work with me on psoriasis or fibromyalgia or anything like that, then the first thing I do is ask their subconscious mind after we connect, where do we start? Is it with the emotion code, the body code, or the belief code? And then depending on this guidance, that's where we start. The body code is releasing trapped emotions, or also resetting misalignments, pathogens, toxins. All of these things can be released. Also, clashes between the subconscious mind and conscious mind. So something that is very often we see is there is something that is called no will to, and that's basically where your conscious mind says, "Hey, I want to do this," but your subconscious mind, believing that it is helping you and protecting you, says, "No, it's better if we don't do this." So one of the things that we find a lot, and it's always people say, "Oh, really?" And it's no will to be healthy. And so they always find it very shocking. And I always say, well, it's better out than in. So, let's not dwell on it too much. So that's the body code. And the belief code is really looking at limiting beliefs, everything that is holding us back. For example, if I believe that it's better for me to be ill, then I will be, because our belief systems are so strong. Going back to just the connection between me and Anne, my subconscious mind already knows that we stopped the walk. So now, my name is Einav, my name is Anne. Yeah, so we're not connected anymore. Right. I think that's mostly what I wanted to say. So thank you for the opportunity to share and to demonstrate.
Yes, thank you, Einav. It was amazing because I automatically, when I release, I start to yawn or burp. As a practitioner, I burp a lot, but today, luckily, it was a yawn. But I could feel the shift of release immediately. So that was great. Thank you.
That's so nice. It really is nice when people feel the emotion go. Sometimes they feel tingling, and then they're actually aware that the emotion is leaving. Some people don't, so there's no expectations really.
No.
So now I believe we're going to talk a little bit about some testimonials and work that we've been doing with people. So Michelle, start with you.
Sure. So I wanted to share a little bit about something that a lot of people do. They decide they're going to start an exercise program. They're going to get into shape. They're going to go for everything. And they often choose an activity with zealousness. They want to get in there. They want to dive in and go. And the body might actually not quite be ready for that. So I have been able to support people with determining what kind of program, how much time that they participate in it. And I wanted to share a testimony of someone who walked every day. And she would do at least 2 kilometers. And she discovered over time that she would have these panic attacks while she was walking. And so she ended up on medication for anxiety. And eventually she ended up with a pacemaker. And when I met her, she had a posture that was collapsed on one side. So the shoulder and the hip were sunken together, and she didn't have a straight spine functioning. And we discovered that when she was doing these walks, she was going well past her ability, and she would be exhausted before she was able to get back home. She was thinking that was building up stamina. But what it really was doing was actually enhancing that anxiety and creating those anxiety attacks. And so once we worked through a posture, we worked through supporting her with some strength, some different movement options. My specialty is how to use movement to heal the body. And then we also found the priority way to walk, selected different pathways for her, and sometimes uphill, sometimes downhill, sometimes on the flat. But once we identified what was priority for her every day and her healthcare patterning, she was able to transform all that. And in that process, she realized those anxiety attacks had really been about how everything was being so compacted and she couldn't breathe. And it was an amazing epiphany. And as a senior, this is a big deal because you're trying so hard to stay healthy and vibrant, yet you are trying to still sometimes work with the mentality of I'm 30, and you're still trying to push in that same capacity. And so it's really nice to be able to identify the priority and then be able to create a plan that really works. and supports you, and you don't come home exhausted and need a nap on the couch, but you actually come home energized and feel like you're ready to really dive into what it is you want to be doing for the day. So that's one of my favorite examples to share. Anne, how about you?
Great. Yeah, the first that comes to mind is a client I worked with very recently, the other week actually, who somebody who had worked with in the past but had not heard for a very long time, and then suddenly reconnected because of really growing and holding pain in his left arm, and it just dragged on. It was already for months, but it was just like, yeah, it'll go away, you know, yeah, how that is, but it didn't go away. So I said, okay, that's fine. Let's have a look whether it's ready to be cleared also, because I very much work in the subconscious field on a cellular level center. And it happens that sometimes the subconscious mind is not ready yet, or the body to release the issue. But that becomes very clear as I connect with the person a little bit, like Einav also work on a subconscious level with their permission. It's fully safe, and only that what can be released, that moment will be released. So I work most of the time all the chakras, so the auric field, the energy wheels of the body, as well as the organs. And it became quite clear that in this case, there was a big blockage within the heart chakra area and on the heart. So trapped a big blockage there, trapped emotion, which then obviously caused this tension and tightness in the whole heart meridian, which runs through the arms. And so I was able to release a big blockage there. And at the same time, I could also sense with, sometimes I get like this intuitive images or messages come through, but there had been an issue for many years already with his mother on this side that he's been working on, but he thought it was already fully solved, but still there was a little bit left there and remain. So we were able to clear that, and the session was over. And I never know whether the pain would have gone, but he could feel during the session already a lot of tingling, cells coming alive again. So there was definitely movement. So yeah, we said goodbye, and I tested. I did a muscle test as well, that it will have an effect for the next 5 days. And in case anything is not fully gone or comes back, reconnect, and we'll see what we can do. So we did that. He rested a lot, drank a lot of water, and then I also suggested, because I knew it was the whole meridian, that Qigong exercises that I always implement would help very much with the aftercare of the session. So I did a little video on which exercise to do for the next, that was 20 days in this case, of Qigong, to really release that tension in the heart meridian. And yeah, and I never know exactly what happens, because it takes a couple of days. But then I got a message a couple of days later, a very big thank you for the session, because the pain is almost fully gone. So and that was just a one session, so that made me very happy. But that doesn't always happen. Like I said, like Einav said also, it can take many sessions depending how deeply rooted the blockage is and how willing it is to be released. But always happy to get the feedback as well, which is always reassuring, that shifts do happen, and we can help people that way. Isn't that what we all want in the end?
Wonderful.
Yes.
And it's so nice. Yeah, sorry. I was just saying, it's so nice when it is really the one session, and then sometimes, of course, it takes more than one session. But yeah, never know. Yes. I guess I will share a testimonial as well, a success story or case study. And actually, the first person that I worked with intentionally on the chronic pain. So this guy, he came over. He had chronic pain of levels 9 to 10 out of 10 constantly. So there was no break in his pain. He couldn't sit, he couldn't walk, he couldn't lie down, he couldn't do anything. It was practically suicidal, and it's been going on for such a long time as well. And so what we done really is starting. I mean, at that point, I wasn't doing the energy healing. I was only doing the alignment coaching. And so we really started looking at his life, what was going on, what basically, how come this is what was going on in his life. And so we started to peel it all off, one layer at a time, and we realized that he was doing his PhD at that time, and actually there was no life. He was just getting up in the morning, studying, going to sleep, rinse and repeat, and actually there was no life. And so at some point the subconscious mind says, actually, I can't take it anymore. You're not living, you're not operating from alignment, you're only operating from fears and limitations. So when we started talking, he already felt 20% reduction in his pain after the first session. And considering there was no reduction for so many months, it was incredible. And then slowly, this has taken more than one session, but slowly we started talking about everything that brought him to this place, basically all of his fears, conditioning, how he was taking his parents' fears and acting through them and stuff like that. So the alignment part, the coaching part is so important, I find, because it really helps you to shift back into where you need to be, or where you feel like you should be. Should is not the best word, but when you go back to the flow instead of being in the fear and the limitations, everything falls into place. So yeah, within 3 or 4 sessions, his pain levels gone down to 3 or 4, and then a few more sessions afterwards. It was a little bit longer period of that. There was a lot of nooks and crannies to get into in the coaching, but he's completely pain free. And the thing that is more, I guess, touching in this case is that he was in touch with a woman in another country that was going through exactly the same symptoms like he did, and she decided to follow the doctor's advice to do a surgery, although the doctors had no idea what was going on. And she did the surgery. She can't walk anymore, and he can. And so that's, for me, it's a hair-raising experience.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
So what we'd like to do now is we'd like to give you a little bit of calming and kind of just to connect the figure 8 patterns that happen in the body. And as we're doing this little exercise, Einav's going to share a little bit about our beta offer, and then I'll change positions after that, and Ann's going to follow after that. So if you would cross your right foot over your left foot, and you can cross your right hand over your left. It can be the other way too. I'm just going to say it that way just for simplicity. And you can take the hands, where's my camera? Out in front, cross the hands over, and then just turn them, and you can hook the fingers. Okay. And if that's not comfortable, you can just cross the hands over the chest too, and that will work. But you need the ankles crossed as well. So we're going to hold that position, put the tongue on the roof of your mouth, and that's just going to give you a little reboot while you finish listening to the last bit. All right. Go for it.
I'll do most of it, but not with the tongue bit. Right. So yes, the offer that is now on the table, we are really excited about this collaboration, because each and every one of us is doing some really amazing stuff with our clients, but it's not very often that there is such a collaboration where we bring all of our expertise to help one person heal, reduce the symptoms, whatever needs to come up from the sessions. So at the moment, because this is still very new, we are looking for some people that we can work with and get the testimonials. So we're looking for 4 more people to take us up on this offer. So 9 sessions, 3 with each of us. The offer is for £450 at the moment. And at the end of that, when we have the testimonials and when we've worked with the people for the 9 sessions, then of course we will launch it, have the the solid program out there, and then of course the price will go up accordingly. But yes, I really suggest that if you suffer from chronic pain, chronic illness, or unexplained medical conditions, and you've tried everything and you're fed up with not getting the results that you want, I really recommend you get in touch. There's some incredible things that get, as you heard from the testimonials, from people that are working with each of us individually, and let alone with all of us together. So that's a little bit more about the beta stage. I'll let Michelle untangle us.
We're going to take our fingertips now and just put them together. And then you're just going to put them in front of your belly button. And your feet are just going to go side by side. And then you can still keep the tongue on the roof of your mouth. And so you know what we're doing? This is called Cook's Hookups. Wayne Cook devised this little technique, but it's a fantastic way to just calm the system. And I offer it many times to my clients and my students as a way for us to lock in some of the information that we've received, and also for a way to help goal setting and intention in our day. All right, Anne, I'll let you finish up.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Einav. Well, everybody, I think no further ado, if you are here already on the call, it is a sign that your subconscious is ready to take that next step for self-care and to become a better version of yourself. And you may wonder, how can we take advantage of this amazing beta stage deal? And we will have the link also in the comments. And it's basically through the website untangledcoaching.com/aim-for-greatness-project. And there you will come on a landing page where you can book a call, a free discovery call, and we'll take it from there. We're all looking forward to meet you there. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.